Good evening, my friends. How are you all doing? Thank you for joining me this evening. We are here on a semi-exciting day, so if y'all didn't hear about it, Arturia dropped their latest V collection, which is their sort of like big collection of all their plugins and sounds, and every time they release a new V collection, there's always like additional stuff added to it, and they've added a few new sounds, new plugins that I'm excited to get into today. One in particular, which is called Pure Lo-Fi, which is of course right up my alley, so I'm very stoked to be checking that out. But how are you all doing this evening? We're gonna have some fun. I've got since we're gonna be working with mostly Arturia stuff, I've got my mini lab here because it's just easy to navigate around. I've also got the Polyend Play here, which is a sequencer that continuously calls to me. If you've been tuning in for these Thursday evening streams the past few weeks, you will know that we've been getting into a little bit of a experimental vibe. We've been working with a lot more hardware these days. So I wanted to bring a little of that energy today if we're going to mostly be working with a plugin, where if we use the Polyend Play, we can get a little bit of that a little bit of that, I was gonna say that Hollywood magic. I don't know where that came from. A little bit of that hardware magic is what I was trying to say. Yes, so that's the plan for this evening. If y'all have seen anything about the V collection and you have any particular sounds that you want to check out, do let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna mostly dig in Pure Lo-Fi. We can check into some of the other new sounds as well, but that'll be exciting. Hey Beatmaker, what's good? It's your first stream. If anybody else is out there lurking and you're not usually here on the live stream, would be good to see and talk to you. Say hi. We're a fun, supportive community here. Hello to Sky Lotus. Sky Lotus, thanks for tuning in as well. Cycling frugally, good evening to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Liquid, welcome to the community. I haven't seen your name in chat before. This is a crazy first chat to jump in here with. Just say hi, hang out, have a good time. I'm down to answer questions, but just kind of a strange thing to just jump in with. But no worries, just chill, hang out. I mean, YouTube is a good spot for artists, in my opinion, or it's been good for me. I'll say that much, because here's the thing that I like about YouTube is there's not a lot of other social platforms that have a good monetization method in terms of like ads. So with YouTube, I get to make these tutorials and make these videos that if people watch them, YouTube will put ads on the videos, and then I'll get paid based on the like how those ads get served, right? So for me, it seems kind of like a win-win, right? Like, I want to teach things, I also want to make my music and show off my process and all that, and people out there want to learn stuff. They want to learn about gear, they want to learn about how to make music. So without having to pay, you don't have to pay any money, you can watch my content. They put ads on it, I get paid, you get the content, that sort of thing. So that's my vibe with YouTube. So from that perspective, it's a good platform for creators that are trying to monetize. Dustin, nice to see you. Akoji, hello, hello. Hope y'all are doing well on this Thursday evening. I don't know about you all, but it feels like a long week. I don't know why. I felt so tired today. I can't explain it. Thursday feels like a difficult day. Ironically, Mondays, I feel like I can get anything done on a Monday. As the week progresses, I feel like I get progressively more and more tired. I don't know if you all feel the same or if your energy builds over the week. Akoji says, I actually made my first song that I am proud of the other day. Hey, that's amazing. Congrats, my friend. What kind of music was it? Also, keep me posted on the audio levels. Hopefully everything is fine on that department. And speaking of that, Akoji mentioning making the first song that you're actually proud of, we usually do music reviews or track feedback on this channel. We haven't done it in a little while. We're gonna do the next one in a couple weeks, and that is usually open to channel members. So if you do want to sign up for channel membership, now would be a good time. There's usually a join button just below the video. There's different membership tiers, but even the lowest tier gets you into the track feedback. So that's coming in a couple weeks. Stay tuned for that. I'll make more posts about it as it approaches, but it's a good way to, you know, get connected, get a little feedback on your track, that kind of thing. Also, I wanted to say, speaking of that, we have a sample challenge happening right now, but it is ending soon. I believe it's ending this weekend. I should know. Yeah, the deadline to submit will be the 27th. What is that? Is that this Sunday? I'll share the link for you all in the chat. Sample challenge, there's some vocal samples that you can download and remix. There's the link in the description, but the samples are free at least, so even if you don't want to compete, you can still enter, or you can still download the vocal pack. So at that link, you'll be able to download the vocal pack. Here's all the timeline and information. You can join the public section of our Discord for this. So there's a little garden chat if you're not already in the Discord. Hopefully that Discord link works. And then we're given some prizes of really cool like vocal generator software. So that's what's going on if you want to get involved in a fun little community event that is happening. It's a fun little weekend project since I will need your submissions by the 27th. Accent Noir tuning in from the future, 2 a.m. on Friday. Thanks for staying up super late, Accent Noir. It's crazy. Thank you, Liquid. That's very kind. I enjoy making videos. I enjoy connecting with the community, so that's what's kept me on this. I've been on this platform for over 10 years, and somebody commented on my first video sometime this month and said, wow, I've been subscribed to this channel for 10 years, and that's kind of crazy to me. What's up, Al Pena? Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Tyler Graham, welcome, welcome, welcome. Appreciate it. Emily, thanks for complimenting the lighting. I do put a fair amount of effort into making everything look good, so hopefully everything looks warm and cozy. I can't have you all come over to my studio, so I need to make the visuals of this stream, I need to make that as cozy of a vibe as I can. Sheila LeBlanc, thank you for joining us today. Nice to see you. What's up, Krios? Okay, ain't made something in a while, so why not? Yeah, get working on something so you can submit for the track feedback session. A couple days ago, I finished a song that I've been working on for 4 months. By far my best song so far. That's awesome. Yeah, hopefully, like, the goal is to get a little better every time, right? Just a little better every time. Sometimes it doesn't feel like that, especially if you don't actually get to finishing a lot, or you don't even have to finish a lot, but at least saying like, okay, I'm done with this track, move on to the next one. If you're like really definitive about that and you move through it in a deliberate way, then you can, you know, try to get a little better every time. Doesn't always feel like that though. I know what it takes. I know how it feels. 67 tracks, takes like 40 seconds to load into live. Yeah, some of the projects get a little sprawling, but try not to overdo it. It's easy to look at all those fancy professional tracks and be like, wow, look at all those tracks that they have in their project. I should emulate that, but don't make things too busy, I guess would be my advice on that front. Okay, also, two more quick announcements. First of all, I know people were loving the Groove Boxes video, so if you watched that already, thank you so much. If you haven't watched it yet, it's a cool video I put out this weekend about like how to choose. A lot of people come to me and they're like, oh, I want to buy a MIDI controller, and then they go and buy a MIDI controller. They're like, damn, oh, I gotta hook this up to some software, blah blah blah. So kind of making a soft recommendation for a groove box and how to choose the right groove box, that kind of thing. That was my goal with that video, and people are enjoying it. And then this weekend, basically, I forgot what video is coming out. Oh, this weekend I will have a video up about the SP404 and the Ableton Move, using those together, which we talked about on one of these streams, but it'll be like a more condensed, thoughtful experience rather than me just meandering through a live stream. So that's coming up on Sunday, and then in 2 weeks I got a really cool tiny Bluetooth controller. Here, I'll give you guys a little preview of what's to come. I've been putting videos out on Sundays, if you haven't noticed. I got this tiny controller called Monkey by Wavy Industries. It's in the box. So let me take it out of the box. Look at that. This is a tiny Bluetooth MIDI controller, if you could believe that, with a ton of really cool features. So this video is going to be coming out sometime, well, it's going to come out in 2 weeks. First Sunday in May. Trying to stick to my Sunday upload schedule. And then to give you guys an even further look into the future, because I don't even know what's going to happen with this device, but a company called Tangible Instruments reached out and they were like, we want to send you, or it's one guy that runs this company. It's a device called Arpeggio. So it's like a little synth. It's got an arpeggiator. It's got a sequencer, MIDI outs and stuff on the back. Maybe it's kind of like overexposed there, but this is what it is. I literally just unboxed it today. I don't know if you can hear that. And I have barely started to dig in, so I'm not ready to chat about it yet, but I'll be hopefully making something with this soon. I've been having fun with the like more, you know, like between these two pieces of gear. I don't know if some of you saw the short video I made with the dog paw, the like pad controller with the mechanical keys. But I've been having fun doing stuff with these kind of smaller companies. It's cool to see a lot of smaller companies out here doing their thing, because that's how we're going to get more innovation in the industry, I think. Otherwise, everybody will just make a MIDI controller with pads, keys, and knobs and call it a day, you know? Not that we don't need that, you know? Schmoke, what's good? TAETRO, you the reason I started to upload music. That's what I like to hear. Schmoke, that's what I like to hear. That's the goal of the channel, my friend. Real quick, I am also putting out music myself. Can you believe it? My first track of the year is on its way. So if y'all want to pre-save that, of course, I don't know. Do people pre-save things? I don't know if that's a real thing. I feel like everybody talks about pre-save, and not a lot of people do. But if you would like to pre-save my new track, I've just put the link in the description. Spotify pre-save is up, but of course, I'll make a lot more noise about it when the track actually releases on May 9th. But just know that that's coming. And there will be a Bandcamp version that has a bonus track on it. So if you feel so inclined and you want to pre-save that track, I just dropped the link in the chat. Oh yes, gave Koala Sampler a shout out in the Groovebox video, because that's the thing. It's like some people are like, what gear do I buy? What gear do I buy? And it's like, just pick up your phone, download some app, and you'll be good to go. Don't even worry about it. Talking of tracks, you dropped a new one on Bandcamp, or am I going mad? Oh yeah, I dropped a track on Bandcamp a couple weeks ago, which was the ambient track. We were working with the drone synth a couple weeks ago, and we were having fun jamming on that, and I dropped that track on Bandcamp. So it's a long, dark, ambient, like 10-minute long piece, and then I also did a stretched version. So here, I'll drop that link in the chat as well if you're curious. It's not a, I try to like, I don't know, it's more of an experimental piece, so that's why I only put it on Bandcamp and not on the other sites, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. And I got more ambient music in the pipeline. It's crazy. It's crazy. I've been really thinking about trying to just go deeper into doing more ambient stuff. I do love beat making, but I think as we'll see today, I've been getting just more into more ethereal, floaty stuff. You know what I mean? Love that video as well. I've been eyeing the Push 3 for a bit. How are we feeling about that one nowadays? You know, Tyler, I kind of reworked that setup back there. I'll try to make a video about that soon as well. And Push 3 is a part of that setup back there. The thing about it is it's just super convenient to have a station that's away from the computer that also just uploads to the cloud, so that I can come to this computer and open up the project. So I refer to that back there as like my sampling station, or kind of like standalone station. I think for being a hub for that kind of setup, Push 3 is really good. But if you're thinking about it as a, oh, I want to make this my main travel companion kind of thing, it's super heavy and it's super big, but it is great. But if you are looking for like a, if you're okay with some compromises and some limitations, Move as a portable, travel friendly little groove box is also great. And it's great with the continuity between live and all that. So that's my take. Push 3 is very, very powerful if you are real about your situation and you're thinking like, okay, what situation would I go use Push standalone and not just sit at my computer? Like, does that balance out enough? Are you yearning that? Or maybe you're not yearning that and the controller version is just enough for you, you know? Interesting, Liquid. I would love to hear more about that. $50 software to write MIDI scripts for any MIDI controller. I think if you wrote a bunch of scripts for some MIDI controllers that don't have them, you could sell them for a couple bucks on Gumroad or something and probably make some money doing that. If I had a controller that didn't have a MIDI script, but somebody was selling one for like $2, I would probably download it. I'd probably grab that. What's up, Chris? Chris just got a used Launch Key 37 Mark III today. Should I get a Groovebox as a beginner or use VST? Well, you don't have to do either, to be honest, because your DAW probably has built-in synths and stuff. So if you've already got a DAW, or you can just get Ableton, whatever the free one is, or a free DAW by that account as well, it might just do some dabbling with live, especially since you got the Launch Key, because it's got that great Ableton Live integration. Use what comes with live first. Don't buy anything else yet, you know? I appreciate it, Krios. Love that Bandcamp exclusive. Yeah, that's what I like using Bandcamp for. You just put a little of the unofficial stuff out there, you know? Yo, Tom Bosher, thank you so much for the 13 months as a Guardian, no less. The highest tier member. I appreciate that. We talked a little bit about YouTube and being a good platform for musicians, and part of that is channel members like you that help keep the channel afloat. That I don't have to worry about making these making viral videos to sustain the channel. I can make stuff that I think is cool and important, even if it's not viral material. That's where the members come in. I love this. Schmoke says, we the new sound sculptors of this era. I agree. I agree. What even is this new era? I don't even know how to define it, to be honest. We'll chat for a little bit more, and then we'll dive into the Arturia plugins in a bit. So if you came strictly for the plugin demo and sound demo and music making, don't worry, we're going to get into that in a moment. But I do like to take the beginning part of the stream just to chat with folks, see what people want to talk about, answer any questions, that kind of thing. Because if I was just going to sit here and do a demo, I could just make a video, you know what I mean? But I'd rather chill with you all. Do you personally prefer going DAWless or minimal DAW setup? If you could start from zero again, what would you do different about your journey? Chris, this is a good question. I think somebody asked a similar question last week. Oh, it's so hard to say. I think my answer last week was like, if I had to start all over again, if I had no idea what I was doing, I'd be deep into the iPad music thing because there's so many possibilities there. But I love these machines. I love all these different machines. I love controllers. I love synths. I love drum machines. I love how they all work in slightly different ways. I love the nuances between them, even though it's all mind-numbing. So I just like exploring music technology. So I don't know how different... It's hard to say start from zero. What would I do? But what I can tell you is that as I've progressed more and more, when I started, I was really just all about everything in the box, everything on the computer. And as I've gotten more into this world, I've gotten a deeper appreciation for hardware and having specialized devices for specialized use cases, and being able to like, oh, I want to do this today, and pull something specific off the shelf to do it with. So it's hard to say what I would do if I was starting from zero, but I can tell you that has been my progression from being like, oh, why would I ever do anything not in the box, to like, I don't even want to open my computer some days. Let me just go sit over there and plink and plonk. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with that. Hopefully that makes sense. J-Song Music. Sorry, I was fixing something over here. J-Song says, the Jupiter 8000, the V Collection 11 sounds good. Big pads, fire solids. Yeah, it's huge sounding synth. Sem 5, Oberheim emulation is cool as well. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff packed into the new V Collection. I'm very partial to the pure Lo-Fi plugin, which we'll get into. Couple minutes, answer a couple more questions, and then we'll dive in. Dustin says, can confirm I have a template for Launchpad X and Koala up on Gumroad. Put it up free and made a few dollars from nice people. That's awesome, Dustin. I did not know that you had that. I knew you made a template, but I didn't know you had it up on Gumroad. Do you want to... It's going to block the link, but if there was a way I could get the link, I would post it in chat. But that's cool. That's the perfect use case for that. Thanks so much for your response. That's what we're here for, man. We're here to chat. Enjoy your day / evening, wherever you are. Cheers, my friend in Vienna. Chris, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for the kind words. Tom, I don't know why, but your chats are not showing up in my chat window that allows me to pull things up on screen for some reason, but Tom says, as a push 3 on the go user, it gets heavy after a while and it's not easy to use in the seat of a car like I hoped. I used it on a road trip. I thought it was fairly easy to use in the back seat of a car, or in the front seat of a car, actually. But you're right, it does work well with hardware. Yeah, I love using it back at that station. That's my use case for it. It's like, just get away, sample some stuff back there, get away from this digital world or this, internet connected screen world, purely music making. But when I finish, open up the project over here, and it's just like the best of both worlds, The Mad Note says, you are a lot funnier than I thought. I really like the boss character. The boss might return soon. I haven't written a good scene for the boss. Those kinds of videos are a lot of work, but I know people enjoy the little extra funny bits. So I'll try to do as many of those as I can. If we can at least have that character show up once a month or something, I think that would be funny. Let's see. What I think TAETRO's content is unique is make the decision for ourselves. What do we gravitate towards? DAWless, DAW, modular, sounds cool. Barista, I appreciate you pointing that out, because that is a big thing for me that I think frustrates a lot of people, because I think a lot of people come to YouTube and are like, okay, person on the screen, tell me what to do, tell me what to buy, tell me what to whatever. And I just don't want to do that, because first of all, that information can change. Like if I make the video today, that information could be outdated next week if something new comes out or whatever. So I would much rather make content like my Grooveboxes video that came out on Sunday that says, okay, so you want to buy a Groovebox? Here's what you should look for. Here's some examples. Not saying this one is the best for this and this one is the best for that. Saying like, here's the knowledge that you need so that you can determine what is the best, because also what is the best is completely subjective. So I think that's frustrating for some people, because they want to be told like, this one is the best, buy this one. But it's like with anything, it's not that simple. But you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Because if I come out here and say, oh, I think this one is the best, it's my favorite, everybody says, oh, what are you, a shill for this company or something like that? It's that kind of vibe. So I'd rather equip you with the knowledge to make your own decision. And I know that style's not for everybody. Like even in the Groovebox video, I get comments that says, okay, which one should I buy? And it's like, bro, you missed the point of the video. Just watch the video. You can do it. I gave you the knowledge. Trust yourself. Trust your judgment. Flow creators, thank you. Yes, we're trying to keep a cozy vibe here. What's up, V-Groove? Nice to see you. J-Song says, what's your favorite plugin for mixing and mastering? Nerding out here, got deep into mixing. Wow. Can I be honest? I completely hate mixing and mastering. It's why I don't release more music. But lately I've been using a lot of isotope stuff, like the isotope dynamic EQ, also Smooth Operator Pro from Baby Audio. I've been using that a little bit. Just kind of different approaches to the same thing. Bit of Maximizer from Isotope. You can't go wrong with the Isotope stuff, especially if you're lazy and you just want to click the like create suggestion button. Sometimes it can do well, other times you really have to go in and tweak it, but you know. All right, that's enough chatting for, well, not that we won't continue chatting, but why don't we dig in to making some music? And I will try to keep up with questions as they pop up. So if you do have them, definitely feel free to share questions or ask in chat. And also, if you're in chat, feel free to answer each other's questions as well. And if I miss something, please let me know. Okay. Speedruns said, speedruns. What do you think is the best way to layer and fill up the space in your track? Of course, things like panning, reverbs. Maybe we can get into a little bit of that now because we're going to be using a lot of different sounds. So we're going to jump right in. This is not that. This is pure lo-fi from Arturia. This is just one of the new additions to the V collection that dropped today. It's probably the one that intrigues me the most, so it's the one I want to focus on. If we have time, we can check out some other stuff in the V collection, but for now, let's go through a few sounds from pure lo-fi. So you can see right off the bat, it's actually a very nice looking plugin. And of course, it's called pure lo-fi because all the sounds have that lo-fi goodness on them. And you can see this actually is a good example. You can see a few different layers happening. So let me go ahead and switch off all but one layer so we can actually hear what we have. So this first layer is, and how's that sound? Do you guys need more volume? Let me know. And also let me make sure I don't have any other effects on. Everything's off. Okay. So right now, there's 4 layers. I've turned all of them off except for this real instrument layer. There's 3 different kinds of layers that we can have: realistic instrument, creative sampler, and lo-fi oscillator. So for this preset, we're in the realistic instrument mode. We've got a grand piano here. There's lots of other instruments to choose from. We could switch to a Rhodes, which sounds fantastic. I don't know if these are multi-sample instruments. Obviously there's coarse tuning, and there's a start control here, which takes off the attack of the sample of the instrument. And of course there's level. Here, let's do one other. Let's find a wind. So we have lots to choose from here in the realistic instrument section. I'm just going to go back to, let's go to felt piano. Now you're also going to see here on each, I think this is on each layer, I'm not 100% sure, but this is the hardware mode, which is going to emulate some older hardware, like some old MPCs, SP1200, and different types of, basically different types of like analog warmth or emulation of analog warmth, I guess you could say. You can hear that one, hopefully you can hear if you're listening with headphones. That's got that noise on top, that really specific sound. If I switch to MPC, we get like a different kind of degradation, different kind of Here, what does it say at the bottom? Yeah, degrades the oscillator with a digital twist inspired by classic hardware sampler. I'm just reading that at the bottom row here. Yeah, V-Groove says that SP1200 ring to it. Exactly. So that's what we got cooking here. So, like I said before, we've got the different layers, and I think that's where a lot of the magic happens here with pure lo-fi, because once we start stacking these layers, like you see the creative sampler here, this is a sample called Full Music Box. You hear those sounds start to interact with each other, and it makes it really nice sounding, really just beyond just the normal piano sound that we had before. So you've got your degradation style here. We're in creative sampler mode, and if you notice, watch these letters here. Do you see how that letter changes with every note? Changes or stays the same, and it's seemingly random, right? I do believe it is random. I think that's what that's telling us, kind of shuffling essentially. What that's doing is there are 5 different samples. Here, I'll turn off the piano sound. You can hear just the music box. And there's even different octaves in there, as you can hear. So that's just gonna make it even more dynamic as we play. If there's always a chance that a different octave is gonna play, or that a slightly different sample is gonna play, it makes the sample that much more interesting. All right, next up over here, we've got like texture and noise. So you can obviously hear that right away. It's like a percussive kind of, it sounds like keys jingling almost. Organic, Foley, there's drums in there as well. And you can see that I can just dip right in here and pick a new sample, a new noise. Layer that in. And let's go ahead and turn an EQ on. We're just going to pull out any lows. We just want that sizzle on top. I like that. I think, I'm not sure if the rain stick is the right choice. I think those keys were a lot better. That jingle or whatever it is, you know? Love the wobble. Yeah, what do y'all think of the sounds so far? I'm curious which MPC they're using. The 60 maybe? Yeah, I'm not sure. What's the classic MPC sound? It doesn't actually say a description there, unfortunately. What's up, Jacqueline? Jacqueline, nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in again. Jacqueline, you're here almost every week. Thanks for being here. MPC-1 emulation, yeah. That cool crisp sound of 2018 or whenever the MPC-1 came out. It'll sound cool with an ARP on. Yeah, we can see if we turn the ARP on. Is this a custom plugin for Analog Lab? This is a new plugin that Arturia released, Kenny. It's called Pure Lo-Fi, and it came out with the new V Collection drop today. So that's what we're looking at. This is a Arturia made plugin. All right, let's keep going. We went into the noise, and then we've got a filter here. Dustin, good question. Is the noise getting pitched, or is it just... Let's crank that. It sounds like it is getting pitched. Yes, it does respond to the pitch. Not sure if there's a way to decouple that. Maybe oh yes, actually that's what this icon does. There we go. So now we've got the same pitch no matter what note I'm hitting. Easy to turn that on and off. Arturia, so this is not sponsored. Of course, Arturia sent me the plugins, so let's be clear about that. Arturia has always been very supportive of the channel. They send me stuff ahead of time. They always support like our charity event every year, so I love Arturia anyway. But I gotta say, they are great at designing their plugins. Like, there are some plugins that I open up and I have absolutely no idea how to navigate around. I rarely have that problem with Arturia, except sometimes I get a little lost in Analog Lab, I'll say that for sure. But that's sounding so good. All right, let me flip on the filter layer. Filter what we have come to expect from a filter. And obviously there's a lot going on under the hood. If I click advanced, there's all these different envelopes and functions that are also contributing to the complexity of the sound that you can of course go ahead and map to different things. But let's go through a few more preset sounds before we get too crazy. And I do want to direct your attention, of course. Here we've got some basic effects like tape echo, reverb, chorus. These are going to change based on the whatever preset we're on. And then we've got this up here, which is sort of like the... because we've got this level of hardware emulation, but up here, this is like a specific kind of lo-fi, I guess you could say. Just like a specific kind of lo-fi. I don't know what to tell you. Kind of like a master level. And then of course there's an amount here with more like specifically lo-fi controls. Let's keep going through some presets because I think the more you hear, the more you'll be like, wow, they nailed it. This one, I love this one. Deckard's Dusty Tape. We'll turn up the frying eggs. I mean, am I right? That particular preset, Deckard's Dusty Tape, is just beautiful. Yeah, so we got the frying eggs layered there. So if you want to hear how that is, so it's filtered down, obviously, but you take a frying egg sample. I actually don't know. So that frying egg sample, let me see if I can figure this out here. Oh, it's tuned way down. It wasn't filtered. It's just tuned way down. There we go. And obviously we're hitting it with a ton of reverb. Listen to those lower frequencies. Cycling Frugally says, hungry now. Yep, exactly. Anybody want some eggs? Now it sounds like bacon. Yeah, if we tune it down, we can get different fried foods. Oh, let's go back up. But so you heard that Deckard's Dusty Tape kind of epic synth? There's a lot of diversity in the presets. You're going to see this lo-fi oscillator as well. I think that's the one we didn't talk about. We saw realistic instrument and creative sampler so far. Lo-fi oscillator, you can see that the waveform is looking sketchy, right? And they're all kind of like that. So if we just turn everything off besides the lo-fi oscillator, I got no more sound because the level is turned down. It's just a sketchy lo-fi. I believe it's a wavetable. I mean, even just that sound alone is nice, but obviously the magic is layer with another sound. I mean, we could take this up an octave. And now you've got that kind of digital, messed up digital thing on top. With the upright piano. Plus that little noise. It's like a Geiger counter. Almost. Plus the analog filter. Let's bring the level of that. Crank the lo-fi amount, crank the wear, the vintage, the wobble, drive. So you can see that this one, the creative sampler, is running in reverse. Is there a routing option for the filter? I believe yes. Let me open up the hood again. This is, I haven't dug into this section yet because there's a filter envelope. So where is, you can see that there's just, I think you can route pretty much everything. So you see how the brightness / destinations is here. I believe this is all Am I wrong about that? I could be wrong about that. Trying to figure out. I believe there is, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Filter envelope effects. I'm not sure. I'll have to get back to you on that. Maybe not. I could be wrong. I don't think it's just on top of everything. Yeah, because that noise is still coming in. Just the instruments. So it sounds like the noise is bypassing the filter there. Good question, Dustin. Oh, I love this one. Love that one. Just gonna keep hearting these, as I should have been doing that originally. Just give them a little heart at the top. That way when you go back, and definitely do this anytime you get a new plugin, just go through the sound library, find the presets that you like, and favorite them so you're not lost every time you come back. Ooh. This one's got some harmony. Cool. All right, let's start making some music potentially with this thing. Can you load samplers into the sampler? Who will sample the sampler? That's a good question. In theory, I hope so. Let's just try it with a random sample. All right, move over. Let's get a little... It worked. So the answer is yes. That was that easy. Oh, well, I dropped it into the noise texture. So I assume if I did that, we can also drop it into the sampler. Then there's that. Oh. Just a little, the frying vegetables, the frying texture is the way to go. Oh. Oh, if you do like this kind of instrument, by the way, I did drop a free instrument last week when it was my birthday. So even if you're not going to pick up the V collection today, I can give you a new sound that's kind of in the realm of this kind of vibe, but much simpler, of course, and it's just a single keyboard sound, but it's called Wavering Keys. Here, I'll drop it in the chat. If you didn't grab this last week, it's still free. I actually don't know if that worked as a link. I think it did not. Hold that thought. There you go. There's an actual link version. So that's just a Soundbox instrument that I just dropped in chat, which Soundbox is a free plugin, but it's kind of really easy to design sample instruments with. So let me open that up. I'll just show you real quick. Wavering Keys. Boom. Open that. So I sampled like a synth through some tape, and then it's got a field recording layered in with it as well. But it's multi-sample, so like not every single note of the synth up the keyboard range is sampled, but it's like every 4 notes or something like that. So as you get up higher in the range, you can hear the wavering just of the tape, you know? And I made this artwork. So the background is a actual watercolor painting, and then I just do more with my Apple Pencil and my iPad to do a little sketch on top. So there you go. Free instrument if you do want to download it, if you're not picking up the V collection today. Flow creators, thank you for hanging out. I'm glad you're enjoying just listening to the stream. Here, let's make some music now. So what I have here today is I've got my Polyend Play, which is a sample, not a sampler, but like a sample-based groove box, I guess you could say. And if you watch my latest video, you know exactly what that means. And I wanted to pull this out today because I wanted to just move away from like keyboard composition, doing everything like strictly with keyboard. But, you know, we'll get back into playing some keys in a bit. So with this, I can do some sequencing, which is like, for me, has been a bit more of a fun way of making music these days. So I'm going to just take out everything because I was tinkering a little bit before the stream. And let's find out a good sound to start with. And the next thing I need to do, so here's how I'm going to run this so you can see how this is working in the DAW. And also stop me if I'm moving too quickly through this process. So basically I just got to make sure that this MIDI, actually I already have a track already set up. I'm going to make it so this track is receiving MIDI from the play. And I can even select a specific channel. So I'll do channel 1. Let's clear that track. And then, there we go. So now that track is just playing. And what do we got here? We have a preset, Ice Roads. So this is the Ice Roads preset from Pure LoFi. So now let's program a sequence here on the Polyend Play. And if that's not bright enough, let me know. Hopefully it is though. Let's go up octave. So I got a little piano here on the right side. If you can see that, if I hold it this way, it makes more sense. You can see the white keys and the black keys, and then another octave, the white keys and the black keys. So I'll just use that as a guide at the moment, and I'm going to start dropping in some notes. So if I drop in that note there, place it, Now that's going to play, hopefully, but it's going to play super short. So I need to make the note longer, I think. Nope, we're not hearing it for some reason. Let's find out why. I know why, because we have to change the channel of this track, I believe. No, USB channel 1, so we should be hearing a note there. There we go. Okay, we are hearing a note. You can see these are moving at different speeds. I'm going to change that for now. Ignore that for the moment. We'll adjust that later. We'll get everything moving at the same speed. Because you can change each row, how fast each row moves. So now everything's moving at the same speed. You can see it going across. I might have the chants turned down for this step. Yep, that's what it is. All right, there we go. So that's going to come around and trigger that note every time. Now we can change things about this note, like we can change the note length. Right now it's pretty long, so we could change it to super short, but I do like a more sustained sound. Let's keep in the same range. Put that note there. And now these notes are kind of bleeding over each other, so that's where our note length is going to come in handy. Doesn't sound like much yet, right? So now let's start to play with probability. I'm going to just turn down the probability of these other notes here. And now let's go back to something that I changed before. I want to slow down this first track. So I'll select this whole track and then find the track speed, and let's just cut the speed in half. Now you can hear that those notes are too short now that we've cut it in half. So let's go ahead and crank that note length back up. So these are nice sustaining notes. So this doesn't sound like much yet. It's just kind of really basic. Let's plop in a couple other notes here, maybe in like a higher range, and we'll use another row to do this. And I'm going to try to like fill in the gaps a bit. Same deal, I'm just going to lower the chance of some of these notes. And we'll start to have like a little evolving sequence here for a bit. Huh. Not a lot of chance there. All right, cool. Now, I do still have the mini lab here. Which I can start playing notes on. Get like a low drone or something. Actually, let's find that Deckard's preset now. See if we can build up something that feels a little, it's not quite generative, but you know. All right, where is the Deckard's Dusty Tapes? Too low. And if we just play that as a drone. hopefully I can make something a little relaxing for those of you that are already at work. Just gonna hold this drone, this F drone, while the notes on top kind of plink and plonk. I think we need to add some movement to those top notes. All right. Relaxing, I hope. Okay, so now real quick. Here's what I want to do. I've got Portal, which is another plugin, kind of a granular vibe, which will add little notes on top, little granular stuff, much like how we've been using the microcosm. I don't want it to be too busy though. Not bad, right? I hope. So now what we can do is I'm going to duplicate this pure lo-fi track that we have that's receiving MIDI from the Polyend play. But I'm going to change its MIDI channel to MIDI channel 2. So now we can find a new sound to play first of all. That's most important. So let's go back to pure lo-fi. Come back to be pure lo-fi. Exit. See, this is where I get stumped on Analog Lab. It's like, why? There we go. Okay. Alright, back here on the Polyend play, I'm just going to select this third lane and we're going to change the MIDI channel to channel 2. I don't know how to change this MIDI channel though, so that's interesting. We'll deal with that in a bit. I don't know what just happened, but I ended up in a different Analog Lab preset. What happened there? Let's go back. I mean, we could jump into augmented mallets, actually, if we wanted to move off of pure lo-fi for a second. This is another addition. All right, let's try to add in some notes. What's up, Tabe Comics? Thank you for being here. Can the play do random octaves of notes you programmed in? That's a good question. Hold that thought. while I figure out the best way to program in these notes. I'm going to copy this note and paste it here. Find the note. So now we got this augmented mallets thing happening. But I want it to play slower. Perhaps 2/3 speed. Copy this note, put it here. Let's get something really high. But really reduce the chance of that note. So now everything's flowing with chants. I gotta say, everybody, I've been really enjoying this composition style rather than just like playing notes and chords and keys and lining everything up and thinking about progressions. I've just been really enjoying this style of making music. Just everything ends up being a little different every time through. And you know, if we go ahead and I'm gonna throw a field recording on. Sorry, just trying to find a good spot in the field recording for us. Little fireworks in the background. Had to restart our sequence there. Okay, cool. Little fireworks action. And now we can reach over and grab the keyboard. Oh, I know why that's happening now. I get it. This one. We hearted this one. It must be good. I'm gonna grab Portal from the other track and put it on this synth track we just added. Ooh. I think this could be a nice little setup going here. A little Little MIDI stuff on the Mini Lab. Sequences going on the Polyend Play. What I did here on the Polyend Play, so I was using these buttons here to select different tracks, but you can also mute different tracks. So now I've muted these 3 sequencer tracks, and the only thing playing is that underlying drone that we have here in live. So I could do some mapping where like a track gets faded. A lot of fun to be had here. I just needed a little something extra, you know what I mean? Like, I just like using a sequencer like this, and I was like, just let's grab the Polyend Play and get it going. And I think it pairs really well with the sounds in pure lo-fi, as you're seeing here. But what do we think, y'all? I think this is, so I could just let this sequence just keep going and going. Keep the long field recording under it. Bring that drone back up. I think I gotta make a new ambient album. Tammy, thank you so much. Tammy makes things. Tammy, what do you make? Let us know. Thank you, Tabe. Tabe. Fyro, thank you for joining us here this evening. If you have been enjoying the sounds, my friends, please leave a like on the stream. It does help more people find the channel. If you do want to support the channel, you can become a channel member. You can support on Bandcamp. There's lots of different ways you can show your love for the channel by spending no money or just spending as little as $2. It really goes a long way. Currently learning to make lo-fi, so this is really inspiring. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I wish this plugin had come out way sooner, the pure lo-fi plugin, because amazing sounds and just amazing like way to blend a bunch of different sounds together in a way that sounds really cool. So can the Play add more options to the steps you've programmed in? Yeah, so that's basically how it works, Dustin, if I'm understanding your question correctly. Here, let me, let's dig in a little on that. I'll try my best. We can get a little brighter if you want to. So basically, you can click and hold on any step. And you can adjust things like the velocity, the note length, the note itself, the MIDI channel, obviously. There's a chord option. There's MIDI CCs, which I'm not taking advantage of. There's also like repeat options. Of course, the chants, which we've been playing with. There's the action, like what happens. Then you can randomize. I forget exactly how that works here, but you can actually like create patterns, I believe. You can also hold a note and copy it. But I just love the being able to see pretty much exactly what's happening. I always love the monomes. It's just a little mesmerizing, right? Especially when the tracks are all moving at different speeds. I'm really thinking about wanting the Polyend Play Plus because it has synth engines built into it. This is just we're just using this as a MIDI controller now, but it also does have sample capabilities, so you can do all of this, what we're doing right now with the sequencing, with samples. Which I didn't really start to appreciate till well after I got the Polyend Play, but I do really enjoy this setup for sure. This is a funny comment. Music to milk cows by. Thank you. Thank you, AA, for that. Actually, let me... So, I do have an ambient track. Let me show you what I've been cooking up. Oh, I actually don't know. Let me see if this is gonna work. I don't think I finished what I'm about to show you, but here, let me find that setup behind me. I've been working on more music kind of like this. Actually, I have no idea where the files are, so maybe I can't show you this. I gotta have it somewhere. Nope, I guess oh no, I have it. Okay, cool. So, this kind of same principle of how we're creating right now, over the weekend when I was setting up that setup back there, I was... Here we go. It's going to be camera audio. I did record the actual audio, but... So this is right out of the camera. Nothing edited yet. But this is what I had going on over the weekend. You got the model cycles, which I've been enjoying a lot. I came back to the model cycles. Model cycles running through the pedals that we normally use here on the stream. Into the 404, so we can get a little effects on the 404. There's obviously lots of chance and probability stuff happening with the cycles, and then just recording that all into push. But I recorded these sessions and I just like let the machines go basically, and I'm gonna release one of those tracks soon because I really like how it ended up sounding just from a simple sequence on the model cycles with a little chance and a little probability plus the magic that the microcosm adds. I really like how it came out. So I want to do some more composing like this, and maybe it's worth putting together a full release of music composed like this, because I really just listen. I love this sound. I could probably refine this down into a track. I'm not really ready to do that at the moment, but... Spooky laughter in the background of this field recording. Let's grab a quieter spot. What's up, Hell Nomad? Hell Nomad, you catching the end of the stream today? The pixel displayed behind you is giving different vibes. It's a little too Blade Runner-y behind us. I could change it to anything. I don't know what I would change it to. I mean, the beta fish is the way to go, I think. Here, we'll update it. The fish, if you can see it properly. I don't know if you can see it too well. Just the fish kind of drifting. I think that's a good one. I've got some that are like clouds. I feel like the fireworks are a little too... a little too gunfire-esque. There's also music playing in the background of that. Here, let's get flowing water. Oh. No talking while I'm recording at the public park. If you see me at the public park, no talking when you walk by. Just kidding. Two betas better. When I was a kid, I had the beta tank that had the divider in the middle. You could have two betas in there. I feel like that's just like super cruel, you know? That's all for tonight, folks. Unless anybody has any other general questions or anything they want to chat about before we go, but I really enjoyed what we made here this evening. I've been just, like I said at the top of the stream, I've been really tired today. I don't know why. I think I just need a little bit of rest. Really happy with this result. So if you are needing some inspiration or something, just think about this music, how we put it all together. It's very different than like sitting down with a keyboard and just trying to find the perfect melody, trying to find the perfect chord progression. Sometimes it's just about sound and flow and chants. You know, I think if we focused on one thing today, it was like finding great sounds, which I think the pure LoFi plugin definitely set us in the right direction. And that is, this is not a plug for the new V collection, but Arturia knows what they're doing with their sounds. That's what I'll say. And the V collection 11 did come out today, so don't forget that we do have a sample challenge going on as we speak. www.taetro.com/garden for info on that. I did share other links in the chat, but obviously the stream will be available to watch later, so do enjoy it if you tuned in late. There will not be, I thought there was not going to be a stream this week, but I had my dates mixed up. There will not be a stream next Thursday evening, so I'll be missing y'all, but distance makes the heart grow fonder, you know? But please do look out for my videos on Sundays, and I'll also be sharing shorts in between here and there. So catch me on Instagram, catch me on here on YouTube, a little bit on Threads. But that's all, my friends. I will chat with you all soon. Thank you for hanging out with me on another Thursday evening. It's been my pleasure. This has been TAETRO. Have a good one.